It's time for my Week 13 college football predictions. The casual in your life is looking at you and telling you this is a dud slate, but there's no such thing in college football. Every week is precious, and every week could have chaos in store. So let's get into it. USC goes on the road to play Oregon. USC coming off another nice win over Iowa, but they haven't gotten that signature victory this year. This could be it. On the road versus Ducks, it would keep their playoff hopes alive, their Big Ten title hopes alive. The Ducks, they've been searching for a signature win this year. That hasn't usually been a problem, but they've struggled to pull away from teams over the last couple of weekends. They lost their big game versus Indiana. This is a huge opportunity for Oregon, and I think they're going to take advantage of it, as Dan Lanning teams typically do. They're at home. They've been playing a lot better. They destroyed Minnesota last week. Moore looks more comfortable. There's no adverse weather conditions again. And for USC, the inconsistency on offense has just been a little bit alarming. I don't think they're going to be able to keep pace in this one. I think the Ducks win convincingly. Missouri goes on the road to battle Oklahoma this weekend. I think this is an underrated rivalry in college football. Should be a fun atmosphere, but Missouri with Matt Zollers at quarterback, just too many limitations with this offense, and you get the feeling there's very few scenarios where they win this football game. They need an A+++ effort out of their defense to do so. Oklahoma is figuring a lot of stuff out, especially in the run game lately, and defensively, they're wreaking havoc. They're forcing turnovers. I expect them to force multiple turnovers against Missouri. It'll set up their offense in a good position. They won't ask too much of Mateer in this game, but even if they do, Mateer's capable, and Oklahoma, I think, has many paths to winning this one, so I think they will. BYU hits the road to play Cincinnati. On the road, they've struggled a little bit more this season, but I was really encouraged by their blowout victory versus TCU. I think that they get another decisive victory against a Bearcats team that's not playing their best football right now. Georgia Tech has been a disaster recently. They've given up over 300 passing yards in 3 of their last 4 games. Pitt's offense has been humming. Yes, they were contained by Notre Dame. Georgia Tech's defense is not Notre Dame's defense. I think Pitt is going to score a lot. I don't know if Georgia Tech's going to be able to answer the whole game, and I think their luck finally runs out and they lose to Pitt. We got a key game in the ACC. SMU trying to get to the ACC title game. Still only one conference loss. They host a Louisville team that I just straight up think is a more talented team this year. I was surprised to see SMU as the slight favorites. I understand because of Louisville's recent struggles, but I think they lock in and get a nice win on the road. Kansas State at Utah. Utes have looked very impressive recently. I think they get a blowout victory over Kansas State. Hawaii and UNLV clash in a game with Mountain West title implications. I think UNLV gets the home victory. I think it's going to be an offensive duel, but UNLV's defense showed some promise against Utah State last week. Vandy needs to be careful against Kentucky, but this one could follow a similar game script to the Auburn game where maybe it's in doubt a little bit early, but Vandy powers through, and a team like Kentucky that's had so much go wrong at different times just ends up falling apart at the end. Give me Washington State to spoil James Madison's party, go on the road and pull off the upset. I think there's something to be said about them being maybe a little dejected from not being ranked, and we've seen Washington State almost pull off insane upsets against Virginia and Ole Miss. And then finally, give me Cal to take care of business in the big game